Hello, everyone. Good morning and Merry Christmas. Today, I am here to speak on a topic called how to structure a webinar that sells. Well, I am Sharan Kulkarni, CEO and founder of digitechnics.com. I am on a mission to teach the latest digital marketing strategies and the implementation techniques to entrepreneurs, business professionals, trainers, coaches who can use these strategies to scale their business and join the movement of transforming people's life through meaningful employment. And I welcome all of you for this live session. And if you're watching this video, either in the recording format or a live format, and if you are excited for this in the comment section, please comment Merry Christmas, right? So, so I want to get into this topic of how to structure your webinar uh, that sells. Okay, when you want to do a webinar, the important ingredient that you need to consider while doing a webinar is that webinar should have educational content. The webinar should have seeding content. The webinar should have selling component. So education and seeding, the majority of the content should be education. The second majority content should be like seeding. Okay, what does the seeding means? Like seeding is all about you made them understand the problem. You made them understand the problem, and you also explain the consequences of the problem. So seeding is nothing but you actually give the solution and you tell people how you can help, how you can help. So make sure these three components are there in your webinar, and this should be uh, exhibited throughout your webinar. Okay, this is one important thing that you need to consider while you're doing a webinar. uh, and the second thing that you need to consider while structuring your webinar or while you are delivering the webinar is the exhibition of intent to help the target audience that you are speaking with, right? And the second factor is you need to show a lot of empathy when you're giving a solution, right? Give the solution as if that is your problem, as if that is your problem. So in your webinar, all that you need to do is you have to give three solutions, and the three solutions should be enough for them to go to the next level, right? So that is the gift you, that's a gift of gratitude. That is the gift you're giving as a gesture of gratitude for spending like a 60 minutes or 70 minutes with that particular uh, target audience. So like what structure I'm going to give you today, it's the same structure followed by every trainer coach. So only one factor that will allow you to differentiate from the rest is the intent, how well you exhibit the intent, how well you build a hope, right? So and so all that thing is all that thing can be achieved by having a lot of empathy, compassion, right? And when you're doing a webinar, right, you need to showcase your business as a vehicle to serve the people instead of money making machine, right? Like when you're a trainer and coach, you should be a person to serve the people. I'm not telling you should not make money. Making money is also your ethical responsibilities, right? But as a trainer and coach, you should always portray yourself as a vehicle to serve the people, right? So I'll just do the quick recap. The first thing is education, seeding, and selling. Education, seeding, and selling. The second one is at every point in time, exhibition of intent, showing empathy and compassion, right? And like whatever the content you give, it should be given with a lot of care, right? So just don't take people's time for granted just because they came to your free webinar, right? Or some webinar, something you're giving. Wherever you go, value and intent makes a lot of difference. Okay, so now I will give you a structure so that you guys can make a note of it and apply that to your webinars. And this is the structure that I have been following for the last 2 years, and with this I am able to get 200 to 300 registrations for my own training programs, and this is also helping my clients to get 100 to 150 registrants whenever they do the programs. Okay, and if you are excited for this structure, please comment Merry Christmas again. Right, you might be watching the recording, you might be watching the live. If you are at this point and if you're excited, please comment Merry Christmas in your comment section. You might be watching it on YouTube, you might be watching it on Mentorship Community, you might be watching it on the Facebook page, right? Like, make sure you comment Merry Christmas if you're excited for it. Now I'm going to share the screen. Thank you so much for being here. Right. So my screen is here. Okay, this is the exact structure that you need to follow. So the webinar selling formula is educate, seed, and sell. Education and seeding will be there throughout the webinar, right? So, and selling will be in the end, right? That also we will discuss in some time. Okay, so first one, when you start your webinar, okay, the first 10 minutes of your webinar, you need to build a context, because context is everything. Context is more important than content. So people will give the like, you'll be able to grab the attention and hold them for 90 minutes when you build the context in a beautiful way in the beginning. So now, so you might be asking, how do I build the context? So to build the context, I'm going to give you a structure. So start with 2 enrolling questions. The 2 enrolling questions should make your target audience understand the problem that they are undergoing, and for that problem you have the solution. Got it? And you need to aggravate the problem, right? I'm telling, okay, like, how do we do that, right? So, like, you are a trainer and coach. Like, are you doing a lot of webinars? Are you not able to sell in your webinar? This is the problem statement, and it's an enrolling question. So how do we aggravate the problem? So if you keep on doing the webinar and you are not able to sell in the webinar, so how many webinars you can do? After 3 to 4 webinars, like, there'll be, like, you'll not be left with any budgets to do further webinars, right? Aggravating the problem is explaining your target audience the consequences of not solving the problem, right? And also, if they solve the problem, if they solve that particular problem, what are the immediate benefits that they can get? So that is what the aggravating the problem is, right? So then you take 2 minutes and you clearly explain them what are they going to get in this webinar, like in 3 lines. Like, at the end of this webinar, you'll be able to get a formula to structure your webinar that sells. That's it. Structure your webinar that sells. So how am I going to do that? So I'm going to, this one is this, right? Done. Then you tell your story. This is an important aspect. You need to tell a story that will help people to connect with you. So this, we call it as a hero story, right? You need to tell a hero story. First, you need to tell who are you, right? What is your accomplishment? What is your purpose? I mean, your mission statement. And why do you want to do what you're doing? Why do you want to do what you're doing, right? What is my purpose statement? My purpose statement is, I want to create a platform where lot of people can transform their lives by having the meaningful employment. I want to reach out to a lot of entrepreneurs. I want to reach a lot of trainers, coaches, and teach them the latest digital marketing strategies and techniques. And these people will use these techniques and they will create more meaningful employment. And this meaningful employment will transform more lives. So why do I care about that? Why do I care about that? Right? Because I've faced a lot of problems from people who are not having meaningful employment in my family, right? So that is the reason I just want to eradicate the not having the meaningful employment. I just want to eradicate this. I want to have the lot of platforms. And when I analyzed why my family people are not able to get, are not having a meaningful employment, because they didn't have a platform to have a meaningful employment, right? So, like, to various reasons, they are not able to get the meaningful employment. And one of the reason is they didn't get the jobs that they like, right? So that is the reason I want to build a platform where there are a lot of entrepreneurs, where there are a lot of trainers and coaches who create, who can scale their business, and they'll be able to provide the meaningful employment. This is the purpose, and this is my why story, right? And when I do a webinar, I ask people to join my hands instead of telling them, okay, I'm going to teach you this. So I'll tell clearly why am I teaching what I'm teaching, right? So I have a clear cut intent when I'm teaching something to the people. And you being a trainer or a coach, right? You being a trainer or coach, you need to have a high intent, and that intent needs to be exhibited. That's what I mean. Okay. And if you have high intent to change the people lives, please comment intent in the comment section. Please comment intent in the comment section. Okay, so this is about it. The first 15 minutes of the webinar, it will be all about them, and telling them who you are and why do you care and why they should care, what is your intent, what is your purpose, and how they can be benefited, and in return how they can help you, right? And through this 15 minutes, you have built a rapport, and this 15 minutes will help you to hold those people for the next 60 minutes, right? So in the next 60 minutes, you're going to give the solution to three problems. Right? So when you give the solution, right? So don't give too much of gyan. The content should be divided into three sections. So each section you solve one problem, okay? And at each section, it should be like, you educate the people about their problem statement, right? You tell them the problem, what mistakes or what wrong practice or what myth they have, and what is the limiting belief they have, and you give your expert advice. That is your gyan. You give gyan. Gyan is also important. You have to inspire them, right? And so now, after giving the gyan, then you give an action point. What is an action point? So what I'm giving you guys is an action point, right? What I spoke till now, it was a gyan, right? What I spoke till now, it was a gyan. Now, like when I open this structure, it's a action point. Now you guys can take away this template. You guys can take a screenshot of this and start modifying your webinar template. So I have given the value for spending 5 minutes with me. So this is the advantage of spending time with me, right? So got it. So now, so whenever you give a solution, right, the first solution before mistake or wrong practice, your expert advice, action point 1. Then you give a case study. If you come to my webinar, you will see a lot of case studies in my webinar, right? So the case studies can be, there was a client who was facing this problem. I gave this solution to them, and he exactly followed that. And see, this is what he has achieved, right? He spent X amount of rupees, and he got this many leads, and is able to sell this much to the people. And this client is this industry, like that. So again, you go to the second action point. So when you give the second action point, and people are connected to you. And so one thing you need to remember, when you do a webinar for 100 people, the chances of conversion are 5% to 10%, right? And another 10 to 20% of the people will convert in the next 6 months. So, but converting 5 to 10% in the webinar is an important aspect, right? Because after webinar, do whatever you want to do, people will not buy from you, right? It's very difficult, basically, right? So what you need to do for that reason, like now you are into 30th minute, or you are into 40th minute, 45th minute. So make sure you put them in a community. You make them part of your community. So now you got 2 action points for me. How many of you want to continue to learn with me for free throughout your life? Right? So I don't know whether you pay for me or not, but I need your help. So can you join my hands? Can you join my hands to transform people's life through meaningful employment? I need your help. So can you be part of my community? Okay. So the advantages of being part of my community is I'll do one Facebook Live with on the latest topic, and I create one blog, and all that will be posted, and you can ask me any question. Can you be part of my community? Right? So then you give the community link, and everyone will be part of the community, and show them the calendar that you're going to do on that community. So this is a very important, guys, trust me, everybody is doing a webinar. It is a very competitive market. It is very competitive than before. So if you want to take a mileage out of your webinar, people who come to your webinar, make them part of your community and start engaging with them, start showing love to them again and again, right? And it will not take anything of yours. Okay, it will build your brand. Okay, this is also one of the brand building activity. This is also strategy to get a lot of loyal fan base to you. And then you go for the third action point, right? Then you go for third action points and then do a quick recap. You do a quick recap, so that the quick recap, when you show the quick recap, they'll be able to connect the dots. They'll be able to connect the dots and also tell everyone. So when you're doing a webinar, if anyone asks questions, ask them to wait till the end, and you tell them you have a 30 to 45 minutes of Q&A. 30 to 45 minutes of Q&A. Don't answer any questions during your webinar, right? So if you keep on answering your questions in your webinar, your flow will be lost. When your flow is lost, you'll not be able to connect. Okay, make sure your flow is not lost, so that you give 30 to 45 minutes of Q&A, so that people will stay till the end. And another advantage of Q&A is people will be able to understand you truly care. Because in the free webinar, you're spending more like 30 to 45 minutes with them and trying to answer their queries. Understand? So make sure you spend that time. Then in the quick recap time, people who have questions, ask them to put the questions in the Q&A, and then you do a transition from your webinar to announcing the program. Like you tell them, okay, this is the time I had. In this time, I was able to give this much of information. How many of you want to continue this learning journey? Like take some put some 2 or 3 questions that should smoothly transit. That should smoothly transit to announcing your program. So then reveal the actual price of the program. Then explain what they will get. Show testimonials. It can be video, live, written testimonial, and then reveal the special deal. But when you're announcing the program and when you're announcing the actual price, tell them there is a special deal. Ask them to wait for it, right? Then you reveal the special deal. Then when you really reveal the special deal, start communicating your why story. Start communicating your why story. Why should they care? So why are you giving this offer? And offer should be limited to only 5 to 10 people. Like you can limit it to 5 people. If you can limit it to 10 people, you can limit it to 15 people. Let's say you have 300 people in the webinar. So then you need a 30 sales. So then in that case, you can limit it to 30 people, right? If you have 500 people in the room, so you can limit it to 20 people, like that. So if you have only 100 people in the room, so you can limit it to 10 people. So that limiting factors. So then for the people who take action, so give them the additional bonuses, and also tell everyone what is that they're going to lose if they don't take action right now. Okay, and this is what I wanted to share in this, right? And people who have questions, you can start asking the questions in the comment section. Okay, if you want, you guys can take a screenshot of this. However, I'll be sharing the PDF in the comment section. Like whoever wants the PDF of this one, please comment PDF. So if I get your comment as PDF, then it will be shared to you on your message. Okay, it will be shared. The link will be shared to your Facebook Messenger. Okay, and people who need this structure to their inbox, please comment PDF, right? Please comment PDF, and I'll stop sharing the screen. Yes. Okay. And if you have understood this, and if you really loved this session, please send loves in the comment section, or send loves in the reaction section. And with this, I'm ending this live session. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me now. Okay, I'll be there for another 2 minutes. Right. It's a live session. If you guys have any questions, you can ask. Okay. Good. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. And once again, Merry Christmas to all. And next session will be on next Friday, probably. Or if I can't do next Friday, next to next Friday will be there. The topic will be given to you by my team. Please stay tuned on the mentorship community. Thank you. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. So no questions. Yeah. Let me check if there are any questions. Right. So, right. Thank you so much, guys. I'm ending the session. Right. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Selvi. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you, Riyaj. Thank you, Arshit. Right. So I'm ending this broadcast. Okay. If you guys, like, let's say you guys are watching the recording, if you still have the questions, make sure you ask the questions in the comment section. You might be watching it on YouTube. You might be watching it on Facebook. Wherever you are watching, if you put the question in the comment section, I'll be able to help you. Thank you once again, and Merry Christmas.